Hello, everybody. Bill Thornton, SoCal Saber. Thank you for stopping by. Music Spins and Sounds with Bill, and I am Bill. This is number 138th episode. Well, I've been doing this a long time. This is the show where we talk about the music that I listened to this week from my vinyl collections, from my CD collections, and music that entered the collection. And at the end, I rate the two that I thought that I had the most fun with this week. Not whether they're the best ever, but most fun. Started the week off with the third from a Whatnot bundle that I bid on a while back, and this is a 1973 LP by Jesse Colin Young, song for Julie. Try to keep that selection, that light down a little bit. Change it here in a second. This was the third in my collection, and I will not be searching for any more. Yes, I liked all three of them, okay? But I'm not going to search for any more on Jesse Colin Young. I got what I had bid for. They were okay, or better than okay. This was the fourth solo album by Jesse, and this Dogs has it listed as folk rock. There are times in the album I thought it was a little more jazzy, like New Orleans type music sound. There is such a thing, New Orleans music sound, but I think that you audiophile been around long enough to know what I'm probably talking about. This album also became his most commercial successful release, charting higher than any of the Youngbloods when he was in the Youngbloods albums, and remaining in the charts longer than the other album in his career. So it was a nice Sunday morning way to start off last Sunday morning with my coffee, listening to Jesse Colin Young's song for Julie. Going to get a G for the week. Good stuff. It's all done. Don't forget to let me know if you have any of these albums, or do you have albums by these artists that are different that you would recommend. Let me know. I never hesitate on looking something up and getting it if I like it, even if it costs me money. And lastly, if you're watching and you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Help the channel grow. I appreciate it very much. This channel's had a hard time growing, but it's getting better. Well, the next one, and I want to thank everybody that's hung with me so far, the new ones and the old ones. And I'd like to have more activity, so please tell your friends. All right, second album of the week was a 2025 LP by Bon Jovi called Forever, the Legendary Edition. See, I had to take the hype sticker and put it on this protected one because I couldn't save it because it's a double album. Okay, as I showed you there. Still fix that light. This is the 16th studio album by the American rock band. Getting older, getting older. It's their first studio album recorded with longtime producer John Shanks on rhythm guitar and Everett Badley on percussion and backing vocals as official members, making their first album be recorded and released as a 7-piece band. Let me see. I think here. There was two of them. Yeah, there was two. One come with each album. Side of the symbol. Backside was the lyrics. Very nice to include lyrics. Everybody who follows me knows that I love when the lyrics are included, so I can follow along with them. In the album. Let's take a look at what the album looks like. Islander. Very, very nicely, which it should be because it was brand new. I purchased this. I forget. Oh, I bought this from origin an original purchase bought from Wisecrack Records, Oak Hills, California. The crazy thing is, it has 14 duets on it. 14. Name a few people. Okay. We have James Bay, Robbie Williams, Jelly Roll, Jason Isbell, Ryan Tedder, Billy Falcon, The War and Treaty, Joe Elliott, Avril Lavigne, Marcus King, Bruce Springsteen, and Karen Leon. All duets with Bon Jovi. Crazy. Living Proof, one of these songs, but with Jelly Roll, is the first Bon Jovi song in 14 years that features the use of the talk box. With the last being used in their 2010 song, This is Love, This is Life. This sound effectively known is famous during their hits It's My Life and Living on a Prayer. That's the talk box where it makes the instrument sound like the instrument is talking when it goes through. Most probably know that, but I don't know if you did it or not. Okay, and this album received generally favorable reviews. And I do have a lot of Bon Jovi. I have 12 LPs, or 2 LPs, and 12 CDs in my collection by Bon Jovi. No, I wasn't real keen on the duet factor in this one, and so I am going to give Legendary, Forever Legendary Edition by Bon Jovi in 2025 a G for the week. Now, this next one was reissued in the 2025 box set. And it's the first solo album that I have in my collection by Dio. Holy Rider. Holy Diver. My first solo. I do have stuff by Rainbow. This is the reason I picked this box set up, and by him, and with it, he was in Black Sabbath. Speaking of the box set, my grandson and I made a trip down to LA, and we went to Amoeba Music. I wasn't in Amoeba Music 5 minutes when I saw this box set, and I just said, no, I really like to get some more Dio in, but I don't know if I want to buy a box set. I ended up getting it at the end. I didn't get it when I first came in. This is a decade of Dio, 83 to 88. This is the first album that I listened to out of it. You'll be hearing more as we go along. There's the tracks. 6 albums. Dio's also the name of the band named after him. So that's in my collection. So is this album. There is an inner with it. One of the problems I have with this is when I have box sets, it's getting protected. Okay, so now there was enough room for me to protect the album, get the album back in here, and get that back into the box set. But I don't know how far that'll go. I couldn't get the cover up over the top of this part. So I'm going to have to be very careful of the part here. The cover is a replica of the original. When I started playing this, the first song, which is Stand Up and Shout, for some reason it started to turn me off. Oh my goodness, don't tell me this. I'm not going to like this album. No, I don't know why it turned me. But then comes Holy Diver. That cranked it up. The rest of the album, great for the rest of the day. I always liked his voice with the other groups. But until then, like I said, I never got anything solo by. Why? I don't know about that either. Sometimes you ever do things you don't wonder why. I don't wonder about that. So, Holy Diver, the 2025 reissue in the box set by Dio, gets a G plus for me from the good stuff. Okay, CDs. This is where we take 2 CDs out of the CD collection. We're trying to get through all of them also. The first one is CD number 260, and it is a 1995 album by Chris Isaak, Forever Blue. I have 3 CDs in my collection by Chris. There's the tracks. This was the 5th studio album by him. Get this out of here. The album included 3 singles. The Grammy-nominated Somebody's Crying, then Baby Did a Bad Thing, Eyes Wide Shut, 1996, Forever Blue was nominated for the Grammy Award for the Best Rock Album, but unfortunately it lost that year to Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. The album charted in 12 different countries. A nice production here on this CD. See the behind the CD itself. Here's the CD, not one of those plain gray ones that. I can't. I had a hard time trying to place what this is. I can't say that it was mellow. I can't say that it was hard rock and everything. It was nice. It was nice. I don't know. In my opinion, if it was nice enough to be nominated for Album of the Year, but it was, so I can't take that away from them. But I will give it a G plus for the week. Chris Isaak, Forever Blue from 1995. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Check. I have nothing by Chris. Check him out on Spotify or whatever streaming services that you may use. The next one is an album from 1995, also 1991, that I haven't heard in a long time. I did hear in the vinyl type, but this is a CD, and this is Metallica by Metallica, also known as the Black Album, the 5th studio album by the American heavy metal. This album marked a change in the band's music from thrash metal style of their previous 4 albums to a slower, heavier, and more refined sound. Getting out if I want to rip it. Oh. Why do they make these things so difficult to get out of these? There we go. No, it's not going to come out there either. My goodness. All right. What kind of we talk? They also released 5 singles to promote the album. Enter Sandman. Love that song. Unforgiven. Nothing Else Matters. Wherever may roam. Sad but true. All of them considered to be by many as their best songs ever. For this will not come out of unbelievable. Try it this way. Maybe I got it this time. No, I didn't get it this time. Holy moly. I'm going to have to actually rip this to get this out of here. But I'm not going to rip it on live. All right. It will not come out. That's pretty poor. I haven't had it out before, so that's the way it was produced. Metallica received widespread acclaim, critical acclaim, and it became the band's best-selling album. It debuted at number 1 in 10 countries. Now because I was messing with it so hard, the won't even close. Unbelievable. This is poor production. I'll work on it later. I don't know with you. So. Okay. Invaded 10 countries and spent 4 consecutive weeks at the top of the Billboard 200 here in the U.S., making it Metallica's first album to top the album chart. Charted in 32 different countries. This is one of my favorite hard rock albums. Very glad to hear it again. Very, very glad. And this gets the big gold VG for the week. That's the Black Album by Metallica from 1991. Could show you what's on the back of that anyway. Track listing. All right. Now we're back to the albums, to the LPs that were in the collection already, but we're just waiting their turn to get replayed because I started this project to replay all my albums. I'm still working at it 138 weeks later. This is the 1981 album by Steve Miller, the Steve Miller Band, Circle of Love. The 11th studio album by the American band. It only had 5 tracks on it. Okay, and kind of crazy. And then they had 4 or 5 tracks on side 1, and then one on side 2 of the album comprised of one extended track called Macho City, 1830 or 18 minutes and 32 seconds. The album, I don't know if I showed you back. And the album, with its lead single "Heart of Wheel," only managed to reach number 24 in the U.S. and 17 in Canada. Made the album a commercial disappointment. Contrast to the band's 3 proceedings. Wow, that's a shame. Saw the Steve Miller Band at the Greek Theater. I don't know, somewhere between 5 to 10 years ago. Really, really good show. I really like that. And then the 2 completely different sides of the music. The side 1 kind of reminded me of rock and roll in the late 50s and early 60s, that type of style of music. Then Macho City, when it started, I thought it was going to be a rap because the lyric words were spoken at that entire side. But as it went along, I saw that it wasn't rap, and it became more psychedelic, experimental, and that, which made it okay for listening to, drinking your coffee or whatever you're doing during the time. You don't have to concentrate on the vocals on that. And so, Circle of Love by the Steve Miller Band is getting a G for the week. 1981 album. All right, we're getting here to the end. Last album, and then I'll make my selections of which 2 that I like the most during the week. The third one is Standing on Rock. And that's the 1981 album by Edgar Winter. I have 3 LPs in my collection by Edgar. This album spans blues rock, pop rock, progressive rock. Saw Edgar Winter not as himself live, but part of the Ringo Starr All-Star Band back, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, I saw him down in Ontario with Ringo Starr. That was really a fun show. That was a really good show. It was Edgar Winter, Ringo, a guy from Toto, and Average White Band. They all played their hits too during the. It wasn't just Ringo Starr song. There's an instrumental on here called Martians, which was developed to show his guitar styles. So, it was okay. It kind of took me back, reminded me more of Frankenstein, the song from his They Only Come Out at Night album. No, it was an okay album, but it just did not grab me all that well. So the best I can do for Edgar on this one here is an F plus, fair plus. I thought about good, but I don't know if I could have even canceled the good. But anyway, that was it for the week. So now let's go back and I'll take a look at what I'm going to pick for that. Okay. Well, the first one I'm going to pick is a CD because it's not a compilation. That's Metallica, the Black Album, 1991. How could I not pick that? That is crazy. Crazy, very good. Good. And then let's see what else I got. And then I actually think I'm going to go with Holy Diver from Dio from the 20. It's a 1983 original release, but it was a 2025 box set reissue. So there you are, Holy Diver and Black Album from Metallica. Put some comments down there. Love to hear from all of you. I want to thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for your continued support. Take care of yourselves out there. Be kind to each other. Stay safe.